On January 4th, 2008, 5 Tibetan exiled NGOs came together to form the Tibetan People's Uprising Movement and stage a march into Tibet, scheduled to set off on March 10th, 2008, from the Indian city of Dharamsala. The organizers planned for the march to cross parts of India and move into Tibet on the eve of the opening of the Beijing Olympic Games. Raising portraits of the Dalai Lama and Mahatma Gandhi, and cheered on by the enthusiastic refugee community, 100 demonstrators depart on a march that aims to be for the struggle of the Tibetan people what Gandhi's Salt March was for the Indian freedom movement, the beginning of the path towards freedom. China is irate. It accuses India of supporting a hostile movement against the People's Republic and pushes Indian officials to take action. Several attempts are made by the Indian government to stop the march, even though the demonstrators, who strictly uphold Gandhi's principles of nonviolence and passive resistance, have not violated Indian law. And yet, not even police intervention and the arrest of more than 100 militants can prevent the marchers from reaching New Delhi in early April 2008. After stopping in the Indian capital for a few weeks, the march resumes. Leaving behind parched and heated plains, the marchers begin to move northward, aided by a cooler climate and lush vegetation. As the march nears the border, tensions rise within the Indian government. The fear that the marchers might actually enter Tibet and create a major diplomatic incident forces New Delhi to intensify police controls before the refugees' journey is halted once and for all. A few kilometers shy of reaching the Indo-Tibetan border, the marchers are stopped in their tracks for good. The march is to continue no further. Under no circumstances must the government risk an international crisis. Beijing is irritated enough as it is. The consequences of the Tibetans crossing the border could reach unprecedented heights and trigger a conflict with an unpredictable outcome. The marchers' despair is ineffective against the Indian government's decision. The land of the snow, their homeland, is only a few kilometers away, but these men and women are forbidden from entering it. They will not be able to reach it. They have trekked for months, traveled hundreds of kilometers, but their march ends here, in the Indian state of Uttarakhand. They are barred from entering Tibet. These people, who all this time have never responded with violence to Beijing's brutal, ruthless, and cruel repressions. These people, who believe in a brighter future, when Tibet will once again be a free nation. These people, who are the voice of 6 million Tibetans, at the risk of arrest, torture, and death sentences. These people, who should not be abandoned to merciless holders of power. It is these people, those who took part in the march towards Tibet, that we call upon to not give up hope, to not abandon this noble battle for truth and justice. Next year in Lhasa, next year in a free Tibet.